It is good to be back in this game.
And who might you be?
So, one of the ways that you progress through this game is in how you conduct yourself. Who do you make your allies? Who do you make your enemies? Who are you most interested in saving or serving? And a lot of that begins with how do you treat other people? I'm going to go with I won't tell.
It's of no consequence who I am.
But why you are here is certainly of consequence, don't you think?
That's none of your concern.
Sir, you have entered my room in the middle of the night, pale as a corpse and shaking like a tree. So please, indulge me.
Someone is molesting people. In fact, killing them. Biting them.
The calling card of a vampire. Like you.
One of the most fun paths in this game is the logical. To continue being the Doctor. And I think that's where I'll take this character. So we're going to, as he so eloquently put, use rational thinking only.
You can't be serious. I'm not a...
Perhaps not logical,
No.
but rational.
I can't be a vampire.
Sir, believe me, this is very real. You are a vampire.
Then if you are not a vampire, who or what are you?
Dr. Edgar Swansea of the Brotherhood of St. Paul. I am performing an independent investigation here in an attempt to understand precisely what is going on.
What have you uncovered concerning the murders?
It started a few nights ago. Rumors of violent murders. The docs have always been, shall we say, somewhat unsavory. But this is different.
How different?
A vampire is at work here. Famished. Reckless. It must be brought to ground, and quickly.
Strong writing. So as we ask people things, we will get more information about them. And the more information we know about them, the higher their blood quality. And the higher their blood quality, the more we get from draining them. Which is an interesting mechanic. The more you get to know people, the more you get from killing them. He is a pillar in this district, which we haven't learned the name of yet. All of the districts have a health status, which will change over the course of the game, depending on our actions and the events that transpire through the game. And also depends on who we save or add to our blood.
I heard another voice, that of a woman. Who were you talking to?
Ridiculous. I've no idea what you're talking about.
Something tells me not to trust you.
Then the feeling is mutual.
We'll find this one out on our own later, but we'll go ahead and ask it right now, just to fill out his profile some more.
And what exactly is this brotherhood?
Sir, if the name is not familiar to you, then we shall discuss it another time.
That is one of the hints that is here. Oh, in case you're wondering, this right here is what our mesmerize level has to be in order to influence this man. We'll get into that in a bit, but it's basically vampiric hypnotism.
Then help me find the culprit.
I may. If you'll first tell me why you opened this door.
I followed a trail. The scent of blood from a recent victim. It led me here.
You thought I was your aggressor. That explains a great deal. We're both chasing the same shadow.
could be chasing the same shadow.
Perhaps. This is all new to me. I'm not even certain what I'm looking for.
You should let me handle this affair. You've no idea what you're up against.
No. I will find the monster. He is mine.
How will
bit of
you do any
arrogance
better than I?
getting through there.
But then let me ask you this. What are your intentions if you find the killer?
Probably the most honest answer here would be I don't know. But our rational, logical self demands answers.
I will at last have the answers to my questions.
Then I can only wish you good hunting. And pray we shall meet again.
So, not the killer. But we will raid his stuff. Thankfully, although your reputation precedes you, in this game, no one seems to care when you steal from them.
If Swansea is not my attacker, it means somebody else came here tonight.
Are they stupid or
Someone
something?
must know
I've
something.
never even been to India.
Well, as is the trope, we should first begin with the waitstaff.
Damn it. I think
Evening, sir. Can I help you?
I have
Always
a few
maids
questions for you.
and bar staff
Well, if you must.
and servants.
What's going on around here? Where is everyone?
Too many dead, sir. First the epidemic, and now all these terrible murders.
So bad to worse.
What have you heard about the epidemic?
There's a Spanish flu. Yeah, killed so many last summer. Thought we'd seen the last of it. Dozens dying every week.
Are the authorities doing anything?
Nothing. There are so many quarantine zones in London now. It's gotten really hard to travel across town.
So that dates this game as about 1912 to 1914.
The murders. What can you say about them?
Bodies found in the streets every morning. Drained of blood. It's just horrible. Some say the sewer dog is back.
The sewer dog. What's that?
No one knows. People have always disappeared around these parts. The ancients say it's the sewer dog coming out to feed. But now he's killing in the streets.
I am curious what she possibly could mean by the ancients.
I spoke to Dr. Swansea. He's not the man I'm looking for. Now, I want the truth.
The truth? What do you mean?
I suspect that someone else was here tonight, and I don't think Tom wants to tell me about it.
I'm just the barmaid here, okay? If Tom says you're the only visitor we had, then you're the only visitor we had.
I can feel your fear, madam. Please tell me what's going on.
It's Will. William Bishop. He came in here earlier tonight and he... Well, I thought he was going to clock someone.
I suspect that he does that a lot.
Why are you so afraid?
I mean, his skin. His hands. I scrubbed every glass and every chair that he touched. God, I hope it's not contagious.
Tell me about this William Bishop.
Will was a sailor who worked at the cannon factory before he lost that job. A nice bloke, really. He's never been violent. Until tonight.
Why keep it a secret? Why not tell me about it?
Tom's nothing if not loyal. After Will lost his job, he offered him one ear. They used to be good mates. But recently, well... Will started to get very aggressive.
I see. Thank you for your candor. I'll be sure to talk to Tom.
So yes, hints. They are handy. Ah, yes, and this is explaining how we can learn more about people and therefore extract more experience from them.
this sort of mess would have given me a laugh.
Welcome back. Did you find what you were after?
I can't say I have. Are you sure no one else came into your bar before I arrived?
Hey, I told you, you were the only other stranger I've had.
Tom, talk to me about the visit from your old friend, William.
Yes, Will came by tonight, but he's not my friend anymore.
So, anytime that you hear that kind of echoey voice, we're using kind of our vampiric powers to assist people in telling us what we want to hear.
Why lie to me if he is not your friend?
I didn't lie. I said you were my only unannounced customer, and that's the truth.
Who is he?
William, just an old sailor who loves his gin too much. He worked for years at the canning factory before it closed.
Is he dangerous?
Yeah, like many drunks, he's all bark and no bite. Can barely stand up most of the time.
Says the barkeep.
How was he tonight? Was he different?
Sicker than usual, perhaps. He whined and mumbled about how mean people were to him and how he'd like to talk to me outside, and then he left when I refused.
Alright, well, notwithstanding that.
I need to find him. It's a matter of urgency. Do you know where he is?
You could try his boat. It's up by the North Pier. He sleeps there when he's too drunk to get home.
Please describe him to me.
What'd you expect? He's a tall, sick bastard with a bad rash and torn old clothes. William used to be strong. Now he's a mess.
Thank you, Tom.
If you see him,
Much
tell him
like
I
the
don't
scene
want
of
him
the
back
city.
here unless he cleans up his act, okay?
Alright.
Not long ago, this sort of mess would have given me a laugh.
I hope I live long enough to see them wet boot boys get what's coming to them.
Wet boot boys. Sounds like a Powerpuff Girl villain.
I will get to the bottom of this intrigue. What's been done to me, to this city.
Well, it's not looking good.
The body is still warm. This man has just been drained of blood. This man was armed. He tried to defend himself.
Nice fan braces, dude.
This corpse has been dried of its blood, just like the previous victim. What's this? Some sort of note.
Multiple deaths in the docks region. We believe a nasty leech is involved. Locate the beast. Purge it and quickly. So yeah, he appears to have been a member of the Prewin.
These men, they're a company of professional vampire hunters. Blood and empty gin bottles. This bishop fellow is something of a heavy drinker. There are blood splats on the other side of the canal. I must reach that barge.
Well, we have a fast way to do so. Boy, do I wish I had this power in Assassin's Creed. Follow the trail into here, and here we are.
Over there!
Yep, so you want to strategize how you attack and move around enemies by their resistances and their attacks. So in this case, this guy doesn't care about any sort of ranged weapon, and he's moderately resistant to melee attacks. You may think that that may reduce our options, but actually, our draining powers don't actually consider themselves to be consider themselves to be melee. So, stake and drain. There's going to be a lot of staking and draining in this game. Staking isn't just an interrupt, it's also how we're going to deal with a lot of foes. It gets kind of humorous when we're fighting with other vampires, because it is going to involve a lot of swapping saliva. Oof, getting kind of banged up here. We can upgrade that to make it much more powerful. We will need to. Well, we've got a region on. Let's take care of these guys. Excuse you. Such language. You may notice that our health bar had a stopper on it. That is the consequence of aggravated damage. Aggravated damage doesn't just harm us; it also reduces our maximum health. So you want to avoid as much aggravated damage as possible. I'm going to avoid using my bullets for the time being to build up a good stock of them. Bullets aren't the hardest thing to find, but they're never in high supply when you need them to be. Okay, back to the trail. Outside, yeah? Yeah. What is our slow movement? Gameplay, keybind, what is slow? Q. Since we don't have a gamepad, we're going to have to rely on Q to sneak up on people. Okay, there we go. Dealt with. So there's a hideout up here, which we will raid real quick. Let's refill all of our weaponry. Handle parts and lead. We don't have any recipes for syringes just yet. We do to improve one of our weapons. I really like going for the stake. We don't quite have what we need to do it though. How about the gun? Nope. So then it's the machete. Yep. Once we get up to ingredient levels, we can start specializing our weapon. There are some really, really nice ones later on. You can also recycle valuables that you find, but you're starting to trade shillings for resources, effectively. But it's fine, we don't need a whole ton of shillings right now. Here at the start of the game, we really, really need resources. Did that give us anything that we could use? Some springs, but not enough common triggers. Okay. We do have 750 experience points, which we can invest if we want to. Let's see. Health, stamina, blood capacity, blood absorption using bite. I particularly like hard biting. Hard biting is fantastic. Makes our bite a kind of a finishing move. Some of these are level locked, so we can't advance our hard biting more until we get to level 6. Okay, good. I just want to make sure I got both of those. Let's see. I don't think we can get anything else just yet. Yeah, we'll just stock the rest of it for now. One night later. So this is kind of the balance. As we advance through the game, we will want to level up our character and spend experience points. However, when you do so, you spend the night somewhere. And when you spend the night somewhere, the world will advance. And that can mean that districts will become more unstable, characters might die, etc. This is kind of a more fast and loose pathologic, if you're familiar with that game.
Fresh blood. The whole building reeks of it. The scent is so strong it makes me dizzy.
I'll not betray your trust. Is this first? You see, I needed to come so thirsty, William. As one we shall overcome
This place reeks of bloodshed.
drink outside tonight already, and it did not quench my thirst.
This creature is bedeviled. I must put it down.
Alright. You do not want to get hit by William if you can avoid it. And hard bite. You kind of want to find combos because enemies will adapt to just constantly wailing on them over and over again. There we go. He deals aggravated damage on his claws. Ah. You want to watch out for those big swings. Use our claws there. With some of our stocked blood. Our bites also reduce maximum health. Gonna wait for an attack and then claws. Got him.
William was an honorable man. I could have saved him.
Mr. Hampton, are you in there?
We knew him well, another lost soul, a kindred spirit.
Sir, listen to the sound of my voice. I'm a doctor. You're suffering from shock.
I must return to my flock. They'll stray without me.
Well, it counts as a stake.
Remember, certain skulls are every bit as resistant as we are.
Who are you? What do you mean by scowl?
You truly are a newborn. I should have realized.
Wait. You are the woman from the bar. Are you like me? Can you help me?
I believe, sir, I already have.
Fair. Fair. Well, we are a doctor, and we will do our damnedest to save everyone we
By
can.
George and the Saints, you've solved the mystery of these terrible murders.
Nice boat.
Patience, good fellows, I've come to offer help. Just give me a moment to secure my boat. We can leave this awful place.
William was not the evil man they claimed. He was just taken by the thirst. He needed his drink.
This man requires medical attention. We'll see he gets to the nearest hospital.
No, please, I must tend to my fold. My flock needs me.
There, sir. Go with the good Dr. Swansea. He's resourceful, and I'm sure he'll take good care of you.
You'd best come as well. The sun is soon to rise, and you'll need a place to rest.
I just need a moment. If I can learn something about what has happened to William, I'll be a step closer to understanding what happened to me.
Yep. He's not wrong.
This poor creature can't be my maker. Could it be some subspecies of vampire? I must find a place to analyze the blood.
Yep, that's locked. Okay. We're just gonna leave this scene for the police to find. Yeah. Alright, bye. Alright. I don't really understand how that wheel works. It looks like a throttle, but then how's he steering it? Unless this is like a ship that can only do right turns.
Where are we headed?
We're on our way to the Pembroke Hospital. It's just across the canal. They'll have a bed for poor Mr. Hampton.
William was... What manner of creature was he?
Predator, prey, villain, and victim. Who can say? The important thing is that he's been stopped.
Duly noted. And the woman? What... Who is she?
What woman?
Oh, don't play me for a fool. You used me to locate that skull. You must know who she is.
And I thought you a gentleman. You shouldn't talk about a lady behind her back, but I will tell you she values her privacy. Were London as peaceful as she appears from the middle of the canal? If only that were the reality of the situation.
To be honest, I've always tried to avoid this part of town.
Pembroke Hospital is the last bastion between the rest of London and the epidemic. The flu has decimated the East End and the war still rages. Welcome to the front lines of a plague.
This is where you work, Dr. Swansea?
I am the administrator of Pembroke Hospital.
I thought you were here in service of your mysterious order, the Brotherhood of...
Of St. Paul's Stole, yes. But first and foremost, I'm a man of science. A physician, like yourself, Dr. Reed.
How do you know
Dr.
who I am?
Vampyr.
No need for modesty. You are Dr. Jonathan Reed, a surgeon of some caliber and renown, if I'm not mistaken.
You are correct, sir.
I knew it. I had my suspicions. But when you took the blood sample from the corpse of poor William, I was certain. Dr. Reed. Marvelous.
Have we met?
I attended 3 of your seminars before the war. I have the utmost admiration
So,
for your research.
He's a
What a
fanboy.
turn of fate. England's most esteemed blood specialist returns to London a vampire.
That word, again. From a so-called man of science.
I understand traditionally the role of science is to refute myth, but when myth walks among us, the Brotherhood of St. Paul has dedicated its purpose to their study. There's so much for you to learn.
Of that, you are right.
Well, then let me be blunt. Join my staff at Pembroke Hospital. As a physician. I suspect you'll not find a better post of employment to contemplate your predicament.
This is sudden. I was returning home to see my sickly mother. But alas, that was before contracting this... affliction.
Dr. Reed, take a moment to consider. The post would be for the night shift, providing a good explanation for your absence during daylight hours. You'll be adequately reimbursed, and have a place to hide.
It's not a
I
bad deal.
even had the forethought to bring some clean clothes.
Alright, that's a little creepy.
So, what do you say?
It seems I have little choice, but yours is a generous offer, so I thank you.
Brilliant! Oh, Jonathan, this is one for the book, and the beginning of a beautiful friendship.
didn't even move the wheel that time. This boat is powered by itself. The wheel is merely decoration to throw people off. Boy, doesn't this look like a reputable, fine hospital. Well, it's certainly a place that could use talents.
Thank goodness. I was beginning to be concerned.
Worry no more, Nurse Crane, for I bring good news.